It's time now for the Civil War in Virginia, Day by Day, with your host, Christopher Goen and Bobby Wilcox. This week we plan to take a look at a battle that would forever change the viewpoint of the American Civil War. That battle was Bull Run.
Many citizens and politicians on both the northern and southern side believed that the first battle would be decisive. This was a grave mistake. Just months after the start of the war at Fort Sumter, the northern public clamored for a march against the Confederate capital of Richmond, Virginia, which could bring an early end to the war. Yielding to this political pressure, unseasoned Union Army troops under Brigadier General Irvin McDowell advanced across Bull Run against the equally unseasoned Confederate Army under Brigadier General P.G.T. Beauregard near Manassas Junction. McDowell's ambitious plan for a surprise flank attack against the Confederate left was not well executed by his inexperienced officers and men, but the Confederates, who had been planning to attack the Union left flank, found themselves at an initial disadvantage.
It was at this point that the Southern troops found themselves floundering on the field in great confusion. One of the biggest issues of the day, besides the heat, was the fact that the Confederate Army did not have a standard uniform. In several cases, Confederate troops were mistaken for Union troops, and a melee did ensue. As Confederate forces were fighting to hold the field, General Bernard Bee, later killed in the fight, begged his men to rally around a group of Virginians led by Thomas Jonathan Jackson. "There stands Jackson like a stone wall. Rally behind the Virginians," was Bee's cry. Meanwhile, Confederate forces under Joseph Johnston were steadily arriving by a relatively new method of transportation, one that would surely become a focus of the new war, the railroad.
It was at this point that the Confederates launched a strong counterattack as reinforcements arrived on the field. Union troops began withdrawing under pressure. Many panicked, and it turned into a rout as they frantically ran in the direction of nearby Washington, D.C. Both sides were sobered by the violence and casualties of the battle, and they realized that the war would potentially be much longer and bloodier than they had originally anticipated.
The Battle of Bull Run demonstrated why the Civil War would become a long and bloody conflict. Napoleonic tactics, that is, the tactics of units moving in column against one another, had been outpaced by weapons technology. The inception of a rifled musket and the use of a minie ball, a 3-ring 58 caliber bullet, would show to be deadly. The bullet often tumbled once it struck its intended victim, shattering bone and causing the need for immediate amputation, if one survived at all.
Bull Run also gave Lincoln and the North something to think about. This battle, with its civilian spectators and their picnic baskets, were under the impression that one battle would be decisive and that the war would end with just this instance.